but like if they caught me with a towel, they're going to write me a disciplinary case, which if I had enough of them, it could affect my eligibility for parole. A towel, a towel. You shower, generally they shower one time a day. Yeah, I mean, anyway, but I'm digressing. You dry off and then you get dressed and then you get ready for bed. So a lot of time I would get ready for bed. I would either do my homework, study, or I would read. That was my thing. Um, for my first few years at Coffield, the radio, it's in Tennessee Colony, Texas, which is by Palestine, whatever you want to call it. But it's East Texas. So there's the radio signal was not very strong. So you get real familiar with Delilah. I don't know if anybody knows who Delilah is. Delilah plays a lot of easy listening. You have choices. You have K104, which is the hip hop station, and you have 103.7, which is Delilah, or you have some random country station, which country wasn't my bag. So I would listen to Delilah, which played, soft, easy listening. And I would put on the Delilah and I would read my books or do my homework. And then I would lay down to go to sleep. They would come through rack time, 10:30. Your cellie come back in the cell and they close the doors and you cut out the light. And if you talk to your cellie, which would be a good thing, which is helpful, depending on who your cellie is, you might have a little conversation with them. But generally, they don't put two peas in the same pod. They usually put somebody you would never talk to in the cell with you, it seems like. So you put your headphones on and your the lights are out and you're in this hot ass cell with your fan blowing on you, and you're laying there alone with your thoughts. And that's something I didn't mention before rack time. The mail call. So you shower, you wash yourself off, you clean your stuff up, you get your bed ready, you're reading, but you hear a mail call. So the CO either is in the day room passing out mail and then come into the rack and they're going to pass out mail. So they come down the hall slow as hell. They come down the walkway slow as hell with mail call, right? And mail call is the hardest time if you don't get mail. And so you're waiting and you're standing by the door and they just walk by you sometimes, and it's cold. It's cold. It's hard. I mean, the pedophile got a stack of mail. You want a magazine or a letter or a card with some pictures or a surprise letter from a friend. Because let me tell you something. All you people who are going to get in trouble or thinking about doing some stupid shit to get you in trouble, your fucking friends are not going to be there for you. They're not. Your friends are not going to be there. Most of your family isn't going to be there. Your mom, you better hold close to your mom. You better appreciate your mom, because your mom is the only person that's going to be there for you. And if she didn't write you that day, well, here comes rack time. Sally comes in. They shut the door. It shuts with a slam, and it feels kind of final. And then you lay down and you read for a little while. Let me tell you, don't read the fucking stand. Don't read the stand, because there's a time when the guy's in prison and he has to eat his neighbor. And let me tell you something. There is no getting out of a Coffield cell. There's no getting out of a Coffield cell. So just don't read the stand. But you're alone with your thoughts. And if you're listening to Delilah, which is going to suck because she's playing some sad music, and dedications. And that's the hardest thing. I don't care what anybody says. I'd rather fade a day room full of motherfuckers who hate me, because they do. You go into, that's another reason why I don't like going into the day room, because everybody fucking hates you for some reason. Like, especially, I hate to do this, but if you're a white guy, you're a minority in there, and you kind of, if you have empathy, you understand how the tables turn when you come out. You finally see like how black dudes are treated out here, because you get treated like that in there. Part of the day room, if you're a white boy, you're automatically a hoe, and unless you prove otherwise. And sometimes when you get in there, you have to prove it every day until you make them a believer. I knocked out one dude. I knocked out one guy, one big old white guy, and and they kind of chilled out on me. Like they let me make it. I guess nobody, because and when I was in there, I was 200. Well, I was 175, 180 pounds, 6 foot. I, I I didn't have a lot of muscle, and I didn't have a lot of fighting skills, and I was trained in there to fight. So I got lucky and I knocked this guy out with a crazy left hook, and guys started to ease up on me. But you go to the day room, bro, and shit, it might not just because I'm white, because everybody fucking hates each other. Everybody hates each other, and everybody hates themselves. And like, it's not it's not like a lot of people make it out to be in movies, and I hear these stories about, well, you gotta have a knife and stuff like that. Hey, you can handle yourself if you need to. Sometimes when they use a knife, it's because you did something fucking stupid. Like, if you're gonna get a knife or you're gonna get a fan motor, a lot of times they'll take apart a fan, and they'll bust you over the head with a fan motor, because you fucked somebody over and you might just deserve it. If you get stabbed or something like that, you might be a booty bandit. You might you might been done rape somebody or tried to rape somebody, and the motherfucker had enough of it, and that's what happens. That's why a lot of people get stabbed in Texas prisons. Now, I can't speak for closed custody. Closed custody and medium custody is a whole nother animal. I was in GP, and I stayed out the way, stayed out of trouble as much as possible. But I seen some fucked up shit. There's a sound that a fan motor makes when it hits somebody on top of the head that turns your stomach. Um, how much blood comes from somebody getting stabbed with a welding rod is amazing. I mean, there is so much blood. But you go to the day room and people hate you, and they hate themselves. You might find a couple of people that are cool, like you can talk to and let loose with. And I found that a lot. I made some damn good friends. But me, like, I'm I'm not a racist. I'm not a racial gang member. I I don't believe in that. My mother raised me different than that. I was raised in the hood. All my friends were black and Mexican. I had a rare white friend when I was a kid. So um, in prison, I kicked it with who I kicked it with. And that's why I struggled a lot at first, because like, people will play cool with you, to get something out of you, whether that be your commissary, or your pictures, or your sister, or your ass, and I didn't realize that at the time. So I bumped my head a lot, but I stayed true to myself. One of the things I saw at Coffield, they put you in the barbershop to wait for your cell to where they're going to sign you to, and there's a cork board wall that's all torn up and has gang shit, swastikas, dumb shit on it. But in one little corner, it said, "Be true to yourself." And that sticks with me. Like, I decided I'm not going to let okay, I get my ass kicked by these black dudes or these Mexicans or whoever. I'm not gonna let that dictate who I am or how I treat the next man. And I've been rewarded for that. I've met Muslim dudes, black dudes, that were some of the most intelligent, most caring individuals that won't let you go to bed hungry. The Mexicans, the gang members, like Güero, oh, they call me Güero pendejo. Like, Güero pendejo, come here, get some of this food, and they would share with me. And but generally, when you go in the day room and you don't know nobody, they hate you, and then they get to know you, and you're all right. But um, that's pretty much. I digressed a little bit, but that's pretty much a day in the life of Coffield Unit in TDCJ, Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Um, it's not all stabbings and beatings and rapings and shit like that. That's there. It happens. It's a reality. But there's also, hey, it's just a daily grind. And if you want to do something with yourself, you can. If you want to better yourself, you can. You don't have to sit in the day room and smoke squares and smoke weed and take pills and snort COs. COs are cogent and they're medication. You don't have to do that. You can go to school. You could go to work. I learned a trade. I learned how to work. I learned how to go to school. I learned to apply value to myself, which I never had before.